People don't see the process in it. You know, people don't see how long it takes to get where you want to get to in art. They just think it just happens and it's done. There was a great story of Picasso where he was sitting in a restaurant. He was having dinner with a bunch of friends. This person came up to him and said, "Can you draw something on this napkin?" And it happened, he did it, and then passed it and said, "That'll be $20,000. And they said, "It only took you like 30 seconds. And he replied, "It's taken me 40 years. Yeah, these things, they take time. The process takes time and takes energy. It takes personal energy in it. And that's worth something. Kristian Hawker, painter, filmer, potter, mosquito killer. I mean, the ocean and the water, just in general, I mean, it brings me so much calmness and it changes my whole demeanor. I mean, sort of went through a pretty funny, rough patch in life and then started surfing, and I started surfing when I was 33 years old, and just being in the water every day, and it just changed my whole psyche, basically. It made me calmer, it made me mentally stronger, physically stronger, healthier, all the things. So therefore, it just brings an immense amount of calmness. And I find myself, whenever I'm sort of landlocked these days, I still need a body of water to be in or around at points. Even when I was in the mix of a business side of things, like when I had the pottery studio, there was a moment when I sort of realized that I'm teaching people to do something that I do, and now I'm not doing it myself. And it was an interesting moment for me because, like, I got into obviously teaching pottery and things like that as a job, as an outlet for myself, but then it became something that was just monotonous, and it was just this recycling. I could have trained a parrot to do my job, and I just got sick of it. You know, I didn't get sick of teaching people. I didn't, because I love it and I'm good at it. It was just more in the sense of, like, I wasn't doing enough for myself, and I noticed that, and I started getting a bit frustrated with myself, and maybe even frustrated at other people doing things, you know. And I was like, I can do that, but I'm not doing it because I'm caught in this loop, and the motivation starts dwindling at points with that. So it was a moment when I was just like, I think I've had enough, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I sort of just threw it all up in the air and said, I think I'm just going to go film things on 16mm cameras. I'm going to start taking photos again. And then I started painting a lot more in that process as well. And I think that was the moment I was like, oh, like, I should have been doing this the whole time. It sort of just resonated, and it was exactly where I needed to be and what I needed to be doing. It felt easy in a way, but obviously scary at the same time, because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know when the next paycheck's coming in or whatever it be. But the idea of caring about money again was that had left as well, because I was happy with where I was in life and what I was doing, and that's more important to me. I suppose the daily routine, I don't really have one. It's so transitional for day to day. It depends on what happens on this boat. It's very weather dependent. It's also how I'm feeling. I don't really have a day-to-day practice in a sense. And I think that's a nice thing as well, like being able to be sort of free enough to sit back and just let things happen as they do. I'll do 2 months, I'll work sort of 10-hour days. But then I won't work once I leave for 4 months, 5 months. And just sort of, because I zap myself, you know. And that's why I think I find myself not having such a routine in life, because I think if I had like a constant one, I don't think it would be authentic, and I don't think it would be that fluidity like happening with what I make. I think you've just got to let those moments happen naturally, because otherwise they're forced. For a lot of the new stuff that I've been painting recently, it's the stillness of certain places. I mean, out in Alice Springs, you've just got this complete vastness, and they're quite subtle colors in a space. And that sort of represents like these overhead views of landscapes, like from aerial looking straight down, and like over the period of millions of years, like things happen and like water and wind shift into places. And currently I'm working with a lot of water in my paintings and filling them up and letting that evaporation happen and letting the wind and letting the sort of other elements come into it. And I'm just trying to recreate these moments that have been happening in landscapes for millions of years, and now I'm sort of trying to recreate them in the space of like a 3-month, 2-month period. A lot of the paintings sort of go on their own journeys, and you've just got to sort of let them do their thing a lot of the time. And that's a nice process to understand that like it's not always going to work out, but maybe you find a new avenue or a new technique that you haven't thought about before. I've always just been creative my whole life, and I suppose I got to a point where I didn't want to just be in the rat race of making money constantly. I stopped thinking about it, and I wanted a more simplified life, and me being able to do what I do and take that time. And when you do feel that sort of that expression that you want to get out, then it's, you know that it's time, and you know you're ready to do it. It's part of the process.